Welcome to today's episode of Starting Over After Retirement. Can you soar when the life you've built no longer reflects the life you want to create next? It's a question many women begin asking in midlife and beyond, not because they failed, not because they've made the wrong choices, but because every season of life invites us to ask new questions. One of the reasons I created SOAR, starting over after retirement, is because retirement creates something many of us haven't had in years: space. Space to reflect, space to breathe, space to ask ourselves, what do I want this next chapter to look like, feel like, and live like? The beautiful thing about this season is that we don't begin with a blank page. We begin with a lifetime of experience. The woman who built a career, raised a family, served her community, cared for others, or simply did what that season of life required deserves to be honored. Every chapter has shaped us. Every chapter has taught us. That's why one of the core beliefs of the Flourish framework that I created is this: we aren't starting over from scratch, we're starting over from wisdom. The question isn't whether we need to become someone different. The question is, given everything I've learned, what do I want to create now? That's why I have today's guest. She has spent her life helping women answer that question. Hannah Freeman believes it's never too late to begin again. When life called her in a new direction, she made the courageous decision to close one business, move to a new country. I didn't say state, I didn't say city, a new country with her partner, two young children, her cat, and even her horse, and build something entirely different. Where they are now, not where they've been. If you've been sensing that this season of your life is inviting you to, you know, think differently, right? Dream differently or create differently, I hope, I believe today's conversation reminds you that honoring your journey and embracing your future are not competing ideas. They belong together, because flourishing isn't about leaving your past behind. It's about building your next chapter on the wisdom your past has given you. Please join me in welcoming Hannah Freeman.
Thank you so much, Lisa.
Yeah,
That's a lovely introduction. Thank you so much.
I am so excited to have you here today. Hannah,
Honored
you are in the beautiful midlife journey like the rest of us.
yeah.
And I'd like to get into your story of starting over. I mean, you didn't move to a new city. You moved to a new country. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so this was about 12, 13 years ago now, 12 and a half years ago. And yeah, we I had just had my second baby, and we decided that we would that then was the right time to up sticks and go to Bulgaria. Something that we had been thinking about doing for a while is having a sort of a bold move, as it were. And we liked the idea of somewhere that we could buy a property and have lots of space and have no horses. And we just did it. It was one of those things that out to most people would have seemed absolutely crazy. But we did it. We did it, and we were here for about 6 months before we actually bought our house, so that we found the right place. And I left my horse Max with a very trusted friend who I found to look after him for a while. And yeah, it was one of those situations that just kind of evolved. And that's my youngest was um, 10 months when we actually moved, and so I remember on that day, I left my mother in law's house at midnight, which is Cambridge. So I saw people leaving the pubs from the night before. I was just getting up and starting my day. I had my cat in the cat box. I was in a hire car with my 10-month-old baby in her pajamas. And so we headed off to Heathrow, where I went to the terminal. I had to meet go be at the cargo terminal at 4:30 in the morning. So I did that. Then I went. So that was to drop my cat off, which has a whole nother story. But it did end very well. That was all. It was all good. Um, and so then we had to take the hire car back, and so there I was, laden up, baby on the front, suitcases behind me, and off I went to go and catch a plane. And yeah, so and so I know it's just like,
How in the world? Now, did you and
yeah.
your partner have a year-long discussion, a year-long plan, or was this just how did you even get to the place of making that decision?
It's a long story, but we had been over for a holiday just to see if we liked it, to see if we felt a connection with the place, and we
Mm.
did, absolutely did. So, and it's one of those things. It's not for everybody. It really is. You know, it's there's space and there's predictable weather and things like
Ah,
that. But
okay.
we love it. We absolutely love it. So yeah.
Now, did you have family there? Had you read about it before? How did you choose that location?
No, we had some friends who
Okay.
that we knew who had moved here, but other than that, I mean, not they weren't close friends. They were just people who we
Okay.
knew had done it. So yeah, that was what we did, and I guess also, I mean, that was the big thing, that we kind of moved away from all that we had in the UK, and I was already working online. I had
Okay.
a business that I had started to do with dressage and dressage to music was the thing, and it was a product based business, and it was something that I had put a lot of money into,
Okay.
and it did not go that well. So I that's kind of another thing that let that go.
Okay.
In a, I'd spent the thing that I'd spent a lot of money on. I kind of let that go, and I decided to start coaching instead. And that is kind of the big change that I really wanted to be, coaching people and really making a difference in people's lives. So
And
that was kind of the thing, I suppose, as now that I was, you know, in rural Bulgaria, two young children, but plenty of time and space. So that was kind of what I wanted to do.
And so you mentioned having letting go of the business that you had invested quite a lot of money and
Mm,
time in.
yeah.
So I like to talk about belief systems. So what belief did you have to let go of in order to be able, because that's major when you make an investment of time and money into
Mhm, mhm. I can't hear you. The sound's gone. It might be me, but I hope you're not. I don't know. I missed what you last bit. What you said. I can't hear you. It did do that just a while ago, actually, and I wasn't sure, but I can't
can you
hear
hear me
you.
now?
That's
Okay,
it. I can
perfect.
hear you again now. Sorry, say that last little bit again.
So I like to talk to people about what belief. they had to let
Hmm.
go of in order to take that next step? What belief system did you have to release in order to even get to the place of closing down the business and making that move?
I think it was just the case that when I actually did it, it was incredibly, um, it's incredible relief because it was something that I had been doing for a long time and put all that time and effort into, and it kind of worked a bit. But what I took from it was that um, I could help people better in a different way. So it kind of worked in that even though I'd spent all that money on it, in hindsight there was a lot more research that needed to be
Mm.
done. It was one of those expensive lessons that people learn
Yes.
sometimes. I certainly did. Um, and it was the case of I didn't have the knowledge behind me. I just thought I'll make this thing and make it look all nice and people will buy
Okay.
it. Not really the case. So I needed to be a lot more um, like have conversations with people, and I think that's one of the things that I've learned the hard way over a long time, and I'm still learning and I'm getting to grips with that now, and that real life conversation with people is more than possible these days. I mean, here we are. And you have so much you can do. Obviously, Zoom, you can do a 40-minute conversation on Zoom for
Yes.
free, and as many as you like, pretty much. And so there are so many ways that you can, have real life conversations with people. And that really is one of those things that is so overlooked and so underrated and so important. So that's the thing that has moved forward, I think, with my business, and that and I've got a lot more confident about it. I did start off as a very unconfident person who wanted to hide behind these things that I'd
Yes.
made, and because really, obviously, that wasn't really me. I had made it. I had made these. They were CDs as well. But I had created these things, but that wasn't actually me. It was a tool,
Mm.
but actually me. So again, people tend to think the tool that they create is more important than me.
Oh,
And it takes time. It takes a big kind of like
a shift.
um,
A shift. Yeah.
shift. Yeah, absolutely. To realize that actually it's your words and your presence and your um, everything about you and all your life experience, as you just said, all your wisdom,
Yes.
that you don't realize how much, how important that is and how valuable that is to other people to hear your story and to realize that other people do crazy things too and things like that. So yeah,
So packing up and moving to a new country is not crazy necessarily if that's what you feel inspired to do. And so now you help
yeah.
women. So you found through your conversation and through
Hmm.
talking with different women that you were able to help them in a different
Yeah.
way. So how has and so how are you showing up now for your community and for your space?
Yeah, okay. So I guess I do a lot of writing. I do a lot of written posts and things. I'm using Substack a lot these days. Um, but also I'm doing more and more podcasts, a bit like this. And but I think it's so we'll see and the people's names out there, and you'll make kind of assumptions and judgments about people. But when you actually have a real conversation with them, it's changes everything. It's obviously you see them in a whole different light, and you see people's kind of flaws and weaknesses, even when you thought they were kind of way ahead of you. And I think that was something that I kind of always felt that I was quite I was easily intimidated. I was easily um, felt that, you know, I shouldn't put my voice out there, or I shouldn't, put myself out there, because who am I to tell people? I'm not telling people what to do, but
Right.
who am I to be there saying what people should do, or you know. So I think that was a big thing for me. Is that a big turning point? I think is being more confident in having my putting my voice out there, and that is something I'm still working on. I have to say, it's something I'm still, you know, I worry about, um, not looking perfect and things like that, which is, I guess it's something that, a lot of people feel that too.
But it's a process,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's a process. It takes time. And we also, I feel like at this stage of life, we want to see people how they really are, right?
Mm-hmm.
We want that authenticity and the organicness. Because really, how many of us wake up in the morning with makeup, hair, perfect lighting, and all is right with the world? That's not the case, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. I think it's nice for people to like hear real human voices, and
Yes.
to be able to relate to somebody's story and feel that they are um, able to make a little change in their own lives.
Yes.
To go out there and do something a bit different, and decide differently what they're going to
Yes.
do. Think maybe I could do something that is currently outside my comfort zone, and you know, and make a difference for yourself. Because I think that's the other thing that really um, I struggled with, is like, you're doing it for yourself, and that's
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because and that's the beautiful part of this stage of life, is because we get to the place where we realize it's okay, right? It's okay to take care of me. It's okay to do things that I enjoy and brings me joy and excitement and enthusiasm. And in the process, if we get to help others to do the same thing, even better.
Yes. Yes. Exactly that. Yes.
So, if you, in sharing your story, if you, when you encounter a woman who is in the same position that you were, what advice do you have for her and encouragement?
I like to focus on a future that they are already committed to, but they may not realize that they are, but they haven't kind of let go of the things that are stopping them. And sometimes the things that are stopping them are, sometimes people don't even haven't really thought about what it is that's they physically stopping them, and usually it's just things in their mind, that what will
Yeah.
people think, or what will happen if I, you know, changed what I'm doing, or what would happen if I wrote a post about about the program I want to create, or things like that. People are so worried about what other people think,
Mm,
and I think that's a thing that, when you're more focused on the result. Okay, that's another thing I talk about a lot these days, is creating real outcomes and results. That's kind of missing, I
wow.
think, from a lot of people's work, is that they need to know where they're going, and then,
Mm,
and especially, I mean, um, a lot of coaches and things, they have no sort of end goal, even if that end goal is, there's, even if there are other possible end goals, as it were. There's the one that they know, like they know that they can get for their clients, for their people, who are the right people who want that result.
yes, but the result is the key, though. It
Yes.
is the result, because you are absolutely right. I'm in the coaching space as well. Um, And back to the authenticity about being yourself is that people present one thing, but when you get behind the scenes, it's like, oh no, this is this is not
Yeah,
what I thought I signed up for. And where are the results? Right. So that's
yeah,
very important.
yeah, yeah. I think it's good also to like almost think of yourself as a character in a story, in that
Yeah.
because sometimes it's easier for yourself to and also when you're presenting yourself as a character, for want of a better word or phrase, but and because you are only what people can see.
Yes.
Everybody will have a slightly different kind of because it fits into your own story, your own trajectory, as it were, as the person whose post you're reading or whose live you're watching. You're kind
Yes.
of a you're fitting that into your experience of life and your um, how your interests and what things inspire you or what things you don't inspire you, and
Yes.
you're taking what you need from that. And I think that's a good thing to people to kind of think of themselves as where they're going and what it is they're kind of um, broadcasting to the world, as it were, and how what effect it's having. Yeah.
So, do you encourage, would an encouragement be from you that women should work with a coach, should find a coach that fits, that's a good fit for them?
Yes, I mean, I think that is a great idea. I mean, I have spent a lot of time and money on coaching and coaching, and so I think that I have learned a lot, and
Yeah.
it was often from not mistake because I've learned something from every single person that I've worked with. You know, whether they were free or paid, or whether it was a long thing or long term thing or short term thing. I've learned something from everyone because you always do, and I think that um, you do need to have that end goal. I think it's really good to look for and be confident that this is what you are, I mean, looking to achieve. And you need someone who puts some effort, some
Yes.
weight, as it were,
I
into
love that.
that,
Yes.
you know, because that's you're a partnership. This is the thing.
Yes.
I have come across a lot of people who kind of once you're over the threshold of their program, then it's, oh well, you might succeed, you might not, or they
Right.
kind of be, well, yes, it is really hard, isn't it? But
Yes.
it's something that you have to have a lot of confidence in each other. It's a partnership,
I
and
love
you have
that.
to some confidence in your coach because that's what you are hiring them for a specific result, and this
Yes.
doesn't really matter what what the amount of money that you paid for it. You should still end
See
up or
results.
know
Yes.
what you should have as a result. Yeah.
Oh, thank you for that. I
Mm.
love that. It's a partnership. It is a partnership. Well, our time is just about up, Hannah. Is there one closing thought that you would like to leave with our viewers and our listeners?
I don't know. I guess it's just take inspiration from what you see around you and
Mhm.
know that you already know, and whether you are somebody who is already is older or retired or whatever age
Mhm.
you are, know that pay attention to things that you want and take yourself seriously, but not too seriously. So that you know what you want. I think that's a big thing, knowing what you want and going after that, however ridiculous it might seem to other people. But break it down into pieces, break it down into steps, and just do whatever it is you need to do in order to get there. Yeah.
And that it's not too late to make it happen.
Never too late to make it
It's
happen.
never too late. Thank you so much, Hannah. I appreciate your time. And for everyone watching, thank you so much for joining Hannah and I. Remember, it's never too late, that your coaching relationship is a partnership, it is a tool. Be certain that you get results, though. Know the results that you're promised and be certain that you get those results and that it is possible, even if it's your heart desire to move to another country. Hannah is an example of packing up everything and moving to another country, no family, some friends, but they weren't necessarily close friends, but starting over again, closing down a business that wasn't thriving to build a new.
Okay, thank you very much for having me, Lisa. It's an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much. Okay, bye.